Haywards Heath, London. That was quick. I'll travel like that again. So I'm going to give you an album recommendation. So my current album of the moment is from Jack Steadman, who is the front man of Bombay Bicycle Club. I liked everything Bombay Bicycle Club did, actually, right from their first sort of quite, I suppose, punky rocky album through to that. I think it was called Flaws, that very folky album they did. I enjoyed it all. I thought it was really creative and well put together music. And their head man has embarked on a solo project, sort of a collaboration project really, under the guise of Mr Jukes. So the artist name then Mr Jukes, Jukes, and he's introduced an interesting album which he calls God First, and that got me wondering about sort of his theological position and what his views were. But it seems that his thought is that a lot of creative music, when it happens, has something extra going on, you know, something that might be influenced from a higher force. So that's I think the kind of idea behind his album title, God First. But it's a really interesting collaboration which includes kind of I would say jazz, funk, there's a good bit of soul in it, and maybe a sort of tinges of gospel as well. I would say it's probably not an album for the light-hearted. It's if you like Snarky Puppy and bands like that, then you would probably get into Mr Jukes' album. But I'm going to review a couple of tracks for you during the course of the day and encourage you to have a listen, see what you think. Okay, so here's the album cover, and a couple of tracks I just want to point out. One track is called Angels / Your Love, and apparently that was quite a big BBC Radio 1 hot list track, but I hadn't heard it. But I'm not surprised, because it's filled with sort of hooky riffs. There's a particularly lovely bass saxophone hook that plays during the course of the song, and it's bouncy, it's bubbly, and it's a really nice track to engage. So I really like that track. Second track on the album, called Angels / Your Love. Definitely shouldn't have had the croissant. So another day of influencing skills done and dusted. Enjoyed that. I do like the topic. I find it intriguing and interesting how you can bring influence to bear, and we've looked at all sorts of aspects of that today and sort of categorised the different types of influence that people have over others, and explored that and tested it and worked with it. So yeah, great fun day. So one of the things we did today, which I found quite interesting, is that we categorised the different types of influence and put them on a scale around the room, from the rational through to the emotional. You know, if you take something like logical reasoning, that's an influencing style, influencing category, and you could very easily put that at the rational end of that scale. And then if you put something like inspiration, that's an influencing category, and where would you put that? Probably nearer the emotional end than the rational logical end. But of course, yeah, you can debate that and discuss that. But it was an interesting exercise, actually. First time I'd done that sort of in a live environment, and it worked really well and got us all thinking about what our preferences are, what our default influence styles would be. And I got people to think about their bosses. What would their boss's preference be in terms of their, you know, what for them would be a persuasive approach, and you know, compare that to the individual's own preference. Okay, Okay, London Bridge, let's see if I can get home as quickly as I got here. 3, 2, 1. I'm back at Haywards Heath. So just to say, I listened to Mr Jukes again on the way back, and it's lots of good highlights. There's lots of good stuff. A really nice creative album. Just as I thought Bombay Bicycle Club were a really creative band, Mr Jukes, Jack Steadman, has created a really interesting album. And that track, Magic, is probably the track where he most sounds like he did in Bombay Bicycle Club. You know, that kind of nasally voice that he has, if you're familiar with that. Yeah, love it, love it. Listen to it. Let me know in the comments below what you think of Mr Jukes, God First. My phone keeps bleeping. Josh is on a bike tour in Europe, and I texted him to let him know how that went, and he said, yeah, good thanks, in Bruges having dinner. That's cool, isn't it? Bit envious. Out with a mate on a bike heading out into Europe. That's fun. Anyway, that's me done for tonight. I'm off home now, grab something to eat, and hold on, quick check, 4.6, yeah, it's food time.
Subscribe, subscribe, I love you, subscribe, it's only a click away.